Jesus, Jesus, Jesus. There is something about that name. Sing, Master, Master, Savior, Jesus, like the fragrance after the rain. Sing, Jesus, 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 Jesus. Let all heaven and earth proclaim. Kings and kingdoms shall all pass away, but there's something about that name. Sing, Jesus, Jesus, Jesus. Say, Jesus, Jesus, Jesus. There is something about that name. Just lift your hands and sing, Master, Master, my Savior, Jesus, like the fragrance after the rain. Sing, Jesus, 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 Jesus.
Good afternoon. Today, as we continue to celebrate Holy Week, we turn to the Gospel of John, chapter 13, verses 1 to 17. Now, before the feast of the Passover, when Jesus knew that his hour had come to depart out of the world to the Father, having loved his own who were in the world, he loved them to the end. During supper, when the devil had already put it into the heart of Judas Iscariot, Simon's son, to betray him, Jesus, knowing that the Father had given all things into his hands, and that he had come from God and was going back to God, rose from supper. He laid aside his outer garments, and taking a towel, tied it around his waist. Then he poured water into a basin and began to wash the disciples' feet, and to wipe them with the towel that was wrapped around him. He came to Simon Peter, who said to him, Lord, do you wash my feet? Jesus answered him, What I am doing you do not understand now, but afterward you will understand. Peter said to him, You shall never wash my feet. Jesus answered him, If I do not wash you, you have no share with me. Simon Peter said to him, Lord, not my feet only, but also my hands and my head. Jesus said to him, The one who has bathed does not need to wash except for his feet, but is completely clean. And you are clean, but not every one of you. For he knew who was to betray him. That was why he said, Not all of you are clean. When he had washed their feet and put on his outer garment and resumed his place, he said to them, Do you understand what I have done to you? You call me teacher and Lord, and you are right, for so I am. If I then, your Lord and teacher, have washed your feet, you also ought to wash one another's feet. For I have given you an example, that you also should do just as I have done to you. Truly, truly, I say to you, a servant is not greater than his master, nor is a messenger greater than the one who sent him. If you know these things, blessed are you if you do them. Thank God for his word. As Jesus is prepared to depart, he's taken the time to establish two critical practices in the life of the disciples that transverse the ages from then to now as our sacraments of the Lord's Supper and foot washing. While we often, and will again this weekend, accept the invitation to dine at the Lord's table, our participation in the washing is not nearly as common. For some, it is viewed as wholly unnecessary and culturally irrelevant for our current time, yet some still hold fast that Jesus was intentional in seeing the practice to be repeated. Whatever your perspective on modern-day participation may be, you are likely familiar with the way in which the practice is viewed, as Jesus instructed, as an invitation to serve one another. But in truth, Jesus does lay an expectation upon his disciples that we do serve one another. But here, there's what Jesus does with Peter. He addresses something more than just that. It becomes more than just a lesson in service. In fact, it is a welcoming into the fellowship by way of Jesus' cleansing. Listen again to verse 8 as he says, "If I do not wash you, you have no share with me." While the context, of course, is service, the underpinning truth is that it is only by the sanctifying work of Christ that we can be in fellowship with the Lord. Today, I hope that we would hear again and in full the Lord inviting us to be cleansed as we are reminded that there was blood in the sand. May God bless you.